tell you a secret? If you're not sharing your story in your business, you could be missing out on a lot of money in 2024. And there's only one tiny tweak you need to make in your business. In this video, I'm going to share how sharing your personal story is going to help you get better clients, make more money with what you do, and attract the right clients because of the things that you are sharing as part of your personal brand. So you're probably thinking, how does sharing your personal story make you money in your business? This is something to do with your personal branding. Your personal brand is the biggest asset in your business, and your personal story is going to be the one thing that no one else can copy, that is completely authentic to you and your personal experiences, and the reason why people will choose you out of your competitors. And if you're not doing that right now, then you're wasting a lot of time. You're going to be attracting low quality clients who may drop you tomorrow because they don't care enough about working with you, or you're going to be struggling with a narrative. You don't know how to sell your business, your service, your products because you don't have an angle. There's nothing hooking people in wanting to really work with you. And also the last thing is, when you're only talking about your business products and services, you end up being very salesy in your business. Look, no one likes to be sold to, right? If I was to just talk to you about my done for you service or my master course and all of the things that I do for my clients, you're going to be bored out of your brains. And that's what a lot of businesses do. They move so heavily in talking just the marketing speak, right? The discounts you get, the promos, why you should be buying this product, how you can get 2 for 1. Like, no one likes being sold to. No one likes being sold to on the internet. No one likes being sold to on social media. No one likes being sold to on the website. But when you flip the script and then you start using your personal brand to drive your business instead of what new hot products or service you have for today, and why this is the best thing since sliced bread, and why this is the only offer that your clients need but they don't really understand why, then you're going to end up looking like a salesperson in your business, and that's not what you want. Your brand should attract people in wanting to work with you and you alone. And your story, specifically your personal story, is going to be that biggest differentiator. This is going to be the reason why, number one, someone is attracted to you. Number two, somebody wants to spend more time learning about you. And number three, they are willing to queue up and pay big dollars to spend more time with you, to work with you, to be in your environment, to be in your space, and to get inside your head and learn everything from you, because now they are invested in you, not just your business. Your business is secondary when you have a personal brand. Your business is the thing that pulls in the money, yes, but you are the person that attracts them to this business. And this is what personal brands do. They attract people. You are no longer chasing people. You're not spending hours, years, money, putting your investment, your time and energy and your money are all investments. You're not spending any of your investments catching leads anymore. What you're doing, you're staying stationary and you're being an orator of your life, right? You're sharing why this thing was so problematic for you, or this thing was so challenging for you, or why this thing really pissed you off, or this thing didn't work for you, or how this thing was a really big turning point for you. Someone's going to be listening. And guess what? If you go back in history, the most memorable narratives that we hold on really dearly, even in our society today, are stories that are easily shared, easily told, and very easy to remember. And your story is going to be one of that, because you're going to stick with the formula that you stick with when you're talking about your personal experiences and your personal story. It's a way for people to get connected to you, and once they get connected to you, then you can hook them into your big projects, your programs, your master course, your products, your big services. This is when you hook them in. You do not hook them in with the tools that you're using. You do not hook them in with the results that your clients are getting. That's part of the story, but that's only after you told your story. You hook them in because you are basically telling your clients and your customers and telling them, hey, I understand what you're going through because I've gone through that myself. And let me share you my experiences on how this thing happened to me and how it took me years to figure things out. And then once I figured things out, I knew that I had to make an impact and help other people. And this is why I started this business. And this is why I'm dedicating my life to helping people like you, so that you don't have to suffer, that you don't have to figure this out on your own. You don't make the same mistakes that I do. This is storytelling one-on-one. And when you're being vulnerable with your audience, you gain trust, likability, and you gain that love, like, and trust factor. That trifecta is pivotal for you to attract more opportunities into your business, because it's no longer about you selling a service or a product. It's more about making an impact now. You are making a difference in someone else's life because you've shared a small part of you, which is a huge part of your business brand. This is only a small part of your story. You are not sharing every little detail about your life. You're sharing this problem or challenge that you had, only that one problem and that one challenge that you faced, and you are sharing how you fixed that for yourself or whoever that problem was for. And then you're going to introduce your business, your product, your service. Only then you talk about the results that you get. Only then do you talk about the results that you get for your clients. Only then do you share case studies and testimonials. Only then do you talk about your promo and the freebies that you offer. That is the last thing that you talk about. That marketing funnel is the last thing that you talk about. But the way you hook them in is your personal story. So you're probably thinking, how does being open and honest with my clients help me get more leads, more clients? So I'm going to give you some examples from my own clients, and I'm not going to name their names. I just want to protect that identity, but I'm going to give you two examples. The first one is a business consultant, and when she first came to me, she was talking very much with a business head. She wanted to help people grow their own businesses, move away from poverty and grow their business so that they are self-sufficient and no longer relying on handouts. Now, that's all well and good. You know, there's a mission-driven cause with this business, with this process, with this strategy. But what was missing was why these people would want to choose her as a consultant, because business consultants are found everywhere. You have business coaches, business consultants, business strategists. Like, there's so many people that can help you with your business. So why you? Why should I spend what little earnings that I have to invest in your program? I don't know how you can really help me if you don't understand me. So when I worked with her in building her personal brand, and she shared me her story, because I asked her, go all the way back. What is the reason why you feel so strongly in helping this audience who are struggling, who are in poverty, who don't have help, who are trying to make it and be self-sufficient in America, but are struggling and have no help? Why is this audience so important to you? And she opened up by telling me that she got shot when she was a teenager. And while she was in hospital, she was going through an internal change, right? Of course, you've just got shot. You are in hospital. You don't know if you're going to make it. And from that moment on, after her recovery, she dedicated her life to public service, in ensuring that other people are not a victim of gun violence. Other people are not struggling because they can't make ends meet to resort to violence. Other people have an infrastructure around them, a community around them, so that they never have to be scared of stepping outside of the door and get shot. And this is her personal experience, and this was something that she's never shared before, not even when she was campaigning to have public office in America. Not once has she shared this story with anyone, but she shared it with me. And the minute she shared it with me, I said, aha, this is the golden thread that we need to use and weave into your business. This is your moment. This is your aha moment when everything became so clear for you. You knew what your purpose was. You knew what the issues were down on the street. You knew how you being a business consultant is going to help achieve that. This is going to be the problem that you want to solve. This is the issue that people are experiencing because you've gone through something really traumatic in your life. But instead of dwelling on it, right? Instead of wallowing on it, instead of turning this into a big negative experience in your life, you turned it around and turned it into something positive for other people to jump on the back of. That's such a powerful story. And very recently, she told me that this was on her website for a while on the About page, and she was so close to taking down her personal story. But then one of her clients told her that the reason why she chose her as a business consultant is because she read her personal story on her website and decided, you know what, this woman has grit. This woman has so much resilience and power and has so much strength. I need to work with her because of all of the values that she's showing off just by having the courage to share her story. Now, of course, you don't need to have a traumatic story like this. Let me give you another example. So I was working with a mental health therapist, and she's been helping people with trauma for a very long time, but she finally decided, you know what, the time is right for me to start a business. And she has a wealth of knowledge and experience working with people in trauma. Now, we took this a step further because the levels of trauma that she dealt with were actually very, very horrific. She worked with people who were pedophiles, sex offenders, people who used to abuse children. These were the people that she was helping in court to psychologically analyze how they ended up in that position, the way they think, the things that they did, why they think what they did was not wrong. She was trying to get into their heads. Can you imagine how stories like that will keep you awake, will give you nightmares? These are people who don't think they've done anything wrong, and they are defending themselves on court for the horrific things they've done to these children. And she has to get inside their heads. Now, we use that to her advantage because now she's helping women who are trauma victims, who are victims of violence, emotional trauma, who have gone through abuse, sex trade, all of that. But she understands the mind of a perpetrator. And now she knows the other side of that. And now she's able to help these women equip themselves with the tools, strategies, and self-care so that they can move beyond their own trauma, so that they can live freer, happier, healthier lives. But she shared that story, and now that's not her story, right? This is not her personal experience. She's coming from an outsider's perspective, but this is her personal experience of dealing with people like that, so that on the other side, she's able to help trauma victims heal from the trauma that they've experienced. How powerful is that? Rather than saying, I'm a trauma therapist of 30, 40 plus years, and I can help you free yourselves from the trauma of your childhood. That has no impact. But if you were to say that I worked with the most terrible human beings on earth, and the things that I hear about would give you nightmares every day, when you're talking about getting inside the minds of perpetrators, sex offenders, like, whoa, don't you want to hear more, right? Don't you want to hear more about this woman's fascinating life and all of the experiences that she's gained by working in that industry? Yeah, I want to choose you as my trauma therapist. Of course, because this, again, is showing off values and is showing deeper layers of your expertise that your marketing strategy cannot do. Your personal brand is directly linked to your personal experience in your life, but you're sharing only one side of that. You don't have to go into depth about all of the things that you've experienced. You don't have to talk about trauma. You don't have to talk about anything that is tragic in your life. Those are just 2 examples that I shared with you. But you're talking about a challenge and a problem that you have clearly seen, experienced, witnessed, or were a part of, and you decided, you know what, I've got enough experience, expertise, and tools to be able to fix this for people that I want to help. And your personal experience is going to attract people who are just like you, who have gone through similar things, who see what you have seen, but they just don't know how to fix this problem. And your personal brand is going to attract those type of people. And because you are vulnerable, not only is that going to give you cash into your business, of course, you're going to get premium clients now, because your clients know you are the only person that can fix this problem, because you're the only person talking about this specific thing. You are now opening yourself up to a stage, right? Social media, show up every single day on social media and talk about these things in bite-sized little pieces. It can be no more than 30 seconds. We just need 30 seconds or even 10 seconds, like 10 to 30 seconds of you showing another side of this problem or the solution that you bring, and the value that you bring to your clients, and how this solution doesn't exist anywhere else because no one else has this personal experience or this story like you do. And this is how you're going to stand out amongst your competitors. And by sharing your story, you're giving other people a platform to say, oh my God, I experienced this too, but I've never shared it with anyone. Thank you so much for sharing, because now I have the courage to share. But here's something else that you're probably also thinking about when sharing your personal story and your personal experience as part of your brand. You're probably thinking, I'm really scared to come across as inauthentic. How do you not be fake when sharing your personal experience? Well, here's a shortcut. Tell the truth. Do not sugarcoat anything, right? Do not tell lies. If this was your experience, relive it like it was your experience, right? Don't try to come across as articulate or fancy, or don't try too hard in sharing that story. Like, don't be an orator if that's not your thing. Just share it like it is. This is what happened to me 15 years ago, and I hated it. And this is the reason why this was a big problem for me. And then I spent years and years trying to figure this thing out. And I was with the wrong people during that time. And it took me an extra 10 years to get away from that situation. And it wasn't until I'm this age, at this moment in my life, when I figured out this solution. And it took me that long to figure it out. And now I have a program that is going to get you there faster than it took me to figure this solution out on my own. And then introduce yourself, then introduce your services, your core offerings, your business, right? And why you started what you're doing. That's how you tell a story. So if you're worried about being inauthentic, the only way you can be fake is if you're being fake, right? If you're telling lies about your story, it's going to come up later on, because then when someone pieces your story together and your version of the story suddenly sounds very, very different somewhere else, depending on who you're talking to, you're being inauthentic. If you decided that you want to put some embellishments to your story just to make it sound a little bit exciting, and then later on, like maybe 2 years from now, you decided, you know what, I'm going to share this story again, and someone goes back to your history and saying, that's not how you told it before, so what's changed? You're not being authentic. So just be true, just be real with yourself. Ask yourselves, why was this such a big problem for me? Why was this in my head for such a long time? Why did this consume so much of my time and energy? And why was it so important for me to fix this? If I didn't fix this problem for myself, what would have been the results, right? Where would my life be now? And how can I make sure that this doesn't happen to someone else? Or if they've gone so far into the problem, I can still help them and bring them back so that they are not struggling with debt. They're not struggling with weight loss. They can reverse some of that health problem that they've got. They can claim back their property. They can get their kids back. They can fix their back problem, or there's lots of things that you can do. But if you stick with that structure, you will remain authentic. Just be true to yourself. Do not tell lies. And if you're worried about being fake, just don't embellish anything in your story. Just tell it like it is. Wrapping it up, and there you have it. That's how small business owners like yourself can make a lot of money in your business by sharing this one little thing. And that's your personal story and your experience. When you share your personal story and your experience, you're going to attract the right people. They're going to be waiting to work with you, and they're going to feel so connected to you that no one else with that same job title will be able to fix the problem quite like you, because they know that you know them, right? Once they know, and they will not be able to get you out of their heads, because they know that you have the exact solution to fix their exact problem. If you're having trouble connecting your personal story to your business, without sounding fake, click the link in the description to work one-to-one with me. I can help you make your story really work for you in your business. Cannot wait to see you in my calendar. See you later, bosses.